Joining me now is one of our regulars, Lucy Douglas from New Beginnings Wellness Center and Spa from Ruston. And Lucy, you're here to talk to us today about cholesterol, but first, I think you have a little achievement this weekend that you want to tell us about?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Tell us what that is.
It was the most hideous race I've ever done. It was 54 degrees when we started, and when we crossed the finish line, it was 37 and sleeting. And it was by far atrocious, miserable, horrible. And we were just so thankful to have survived, my running partner, Christy, and I.
And what kind of race was this?
This was the Little Rock Half Marathon.
So that was 13.1 miles
Correct.
you ran this weekend. Great,
Correct.
That is awesome.
Running, I use that term loosely.
Oh, well, hey, you
we
started,
plotted.
you finished.
We finished, we did, and it was pretty fun. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend sleet and 37 and wind, but I'm glad, I'm proud of myself I did it.
Hey, runners get to this place where they'll do, it doesn't matter if it's 0 degrees outside, they'll get up at 5 o'clock when it's dark outside, they'll put on their, whatever they have to like get down the road. So yeah, that is great. So that is so awesome. I'm glad you brought that medal in and to show us.
Yes, it was a pretty cool medal. That's why we signed up for the race, of course, for the bling.
You always get some good stuff in your little swag bag whenever you sign up for those.
Yes, we do.
So anyway, moving on to cholesterol. You're here to talk to us about that today.
Yes, we had started talking a couple weeks ago about just everyone being able to know their numbers, at least some basic numbers, so they kind of have an idea of where they are in their health. And so we've talked about blood sugar, we've talked about blood pressure, and today we'll talk about cholesterol. And I think most people say, well, yes, I get my cholesterol checked. I know my total cholesterol. I know what my LDL, everyone calls that the bad cholesterol.
Right.
And that's one thing I really want to focus on today is reminding people that LDL in and of itself is really neither good nor bad. It's beyond that. You have to know what kind of LDL specifically your body is making. And the reason this is so important is because more than 50% of people that have heart attacks have a normal cholesterol. And I feel like that knowing these other numbers, specifically there's a measurement called your ApoB. ApoB speaks to the specific type of LDL you're making. It is a genetic trait, and it speaks to the atherogenicity or the potential for those particles to go on and form plaque.
Right.
And so it's very interesting to me in doing these types of advanced blood tests where I see people much like you, young, fit, and you wouldn't bat an eye at them if you saw them in a public spot and think, well, they're not in good health. But it's very revealing that these genetic things are revealed. Also, beyond LDL, your LDL particle number. It's important to know how many particles your body is making, and if you're making small, dense particles, which you would think those might be the ones that are going to be a problem, versus the fat, fluffy LDL particles, which are not a problem to us. They're very benign. So that's important that people, when they seek out health care, they're asking questions and also being very careful to give a detailed family history to that provider, because it's important. In some of the ones that I've seen, the scary numbers, it's from people that have a significant family history of cardiovascular disease. Right.
And see, I know a lot about HDL and LDL from my own training outside of here, my other job I have. And I have a history of heart disease in my family. So my father died of a heart attack in his 40s. So, I try to be conscientious about myself just because of that.
Exactly. It's very important because, I have a friend that had come to see me a year ago, and I identified some problems in their blood work. And I saw the friend's spouse the other day, and I said, let me tell you something. You need to tell your partner to get back in here. I said, because when they die, I'm not going to cry at their funeral. I'm going to kick the coffin and scream, I told you so. I'm kind of mean, but I'm not going to mess around with people.
Sometimes you have to be kind of a drill sergeant to get your point across.
Yeah, well, and it's life or death, and people don't need to be so lackadaisical about their health status, especially when you've come to me and I've revealed that there's a problem, and I understand it's very difficult to make a lifestyle change, but these things they're killing us day by day on the inside, whether we like it or not.
Right, that's very true. Well, Lucy Douglas, we are out of time. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you again next Monday. Thank you so much.